So we just disassembled a 2-valve gasoline engine, and now we're going to walk through how this engine works. So over here you can see this is the main block. This is called the engine block, and this is called the combustion chamber with the piston inside. So how this works is when fuel and air mix inside here and combustion happens, this piston will do a linear translation up and down, which in turn is connected to this crankshaft which rotates. This is also called a timing crankshaft because you can see there's a lobe here which causes this push rod to go up and down, and these are called the intake and exhaust valve. So one valve is responsible for intake of air for combustion, and the other one is for exhaust after combustion occurs. So at any one point of time, one is always open and closed so that there's intake going in and out, exhaust gas going out. This is the cylinder head which houses the valves, and this is the gear housing. The gear housing typically is just a sort of cover to protect the gears from dust and protect the other moving parts in the cylinder block. This is called the ECM. ECM is called the electric control module, which controls the timing of the spark plug, which helps ignite the gas in the combustion chamber. And this is called the flywheel. Oops. This flywheel rotates along with the crankshaft to generate momentum as the engine runs through the 4 cycle.
So I'm going to talk about the rings here on the piston. This first ring at the top is to prevent blow-by. So when the piston is in the cylinder and combustion is happening up here, you need to protect the engine down there from gas blowing down into the engine. This bottom ring here is to prevent lubricant from the engine from coming up into the cylinder. And then these 2 middle rings in between the 2 are just precautionary for each one to just as like a buffer, as an extra factor of safety to prevent any exchange of fluid. So this is the piston attached to the crankshaft, and as you can see here, this little piece right here attaches to the bottom of the piston and screws right in there. And so then as the piston is driven up and down by combustion, it turns the crankshaft, and that's where the power comes from for the engine.
So this is the engine with the flywheel and the gear compartment fully on and assembled. And so basically what happens now is as you rotate the crankshaft and the flywheel rotates with it, these 2 push rods will go up and down based on gears on the inside, and the push rods attach to these 2 levers which are linked up to the exhaust and the intake valves. So basically one is going to always be up and one's always going to be down, so that there's only an intake coming in and an exhaust going out at any given time, not both.
Here's a closer look into how the push rods operate the gas input and output. You can see as the piston drives the wheel, it pushes these 2 rods up alternatingly, which turn the movement around, push the plungers down, which allows flow of the fuel.
Okay, we're ready. Okay, so when this flywheel rotates here, there's a magnet here and a magnet here, and this magnetism is what creates the electricity that'll run through this wire, and then it'll go into the spark plug and ignite the engine. And so the faster the flywheel turns, the more times you'll get that electricity running through the spark plug. Go.
So this little rubber hose is the oil return, and basically this is connected to a pressure release valve inside, in which too much oil and pressure builds up inside the engine cavity. That pressure release valve will open and the excess oil will come out through this hose here. And this is a fully assembled lawnmower engine.